Welcome to the Heroine Show. Today we are excited to host a special guest in our midst today, and it will excite you that our topic today is focused on healing the communities. Healing the communities is going to impact your life. To our viewers, I want to welcome my special guest today, who is in the name of Councillor Monica Singh Soares.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Did I mention the name well?
You did a great job. You did perfect. I love it.
Yeah, welcome, Councillor Monica Singh Soares. Thank you for coming to this wonderful show. And to my co-host, Ayante Shannon. How are you?
I am well.
It's a pleasure to join me today to attend to our honorable.
Well, I'm happy to be in the presence of two wonderful ladies. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You're welcome. How are you, Honorable Monica?
I am so well, and I want to thank you, Reverend Blessing, and Ayinte for allowing me the opportunity to be in your presence.
We are privileged. We are privileged. So today's topics, I know you have a lot to share with us. My viewers, I want to let you people know that Councillor Monica is one of the community leaders that have impacted so many lives, families. She's a minister and advocate of women and family. In fact, she's a minister of God. A lot she has to offer. You know, I used to say that her energy is beyond, right? She's a woman of faith. So I'm so blessed to have her here today. Mm-hmm. So you're going to tell us so much about how God have used you so much in this journey of leadership. It's not a surprise that the topic is healing the communities, and I know that our community indeed need healing, yes. And God uses His people to bring the healing. So tell us about yourself.
Thank you again for having me. One thing about myself that I would like our viewers to know is that when we help to rise in whatever we are doing, we must lift others with us. Mm. And I see this show that you have put together as that tool.
Yes.
I see that you bring in wonderful topics for us to talk about. And for myself, just being a mother, a wife, a counselor, an entrepreneur, a charity founder, I really believe these are things that I have always been walking towards. And I really believe that there's a supernatural power always in play. And I think that in our communities, if we start to focus back on the basics, what I like to call being brilliant at the basics, making sure that we have food, shelter, protection, safety. If we focus on this, we will be able to surpass a lot of things, because truly our communities are hurting and we are not even meeting the basic needs. And this is where shows like this helps to touch these topics. And when we answer what we believe is our calling in life, we will be able to add healing to those communities that we're called to serve.
I tell you, that healing, our community needs healing as never before. Mention any sector at all, whether in leadership, in community, in career, entrepreneur. And considering the system now, the new generation now, you know, things have changed. If you can see what happened today, I don't think I've seen for a very long time. If I have, snow starting in the month of November, early November. I think I'm not sure, but I've been here for 22 years old. I've not seen that. Right. See, things are changing, global warming, you know. So healing need to come in different ways. That's why in this month season episodes, we bring in celebrating the grace of God, because grace of God is the one that is keeping everyone in any leadership, in any position you find yourself. So that's why the healing the community is very important in this show, and that's why you're going to give us insight more on how you navigate these processes in aligning in all the aspects of the things you carry in a daily activity. Okay, so I'm so excited to have a remarkable leader as you in our community. And then also I want to say, how do you balance all this together?
Absolutely great question. For me, it's really faith, family, and service. You must have a support network. Some may say, for whatever reason, they don't have family and they don't have friends. And it can be very lonely. But the thing is, if you continue to keep pursuing, and that's when faith comes in. Because when you have faith, you're never really alone. So in the time when you feel alone, you're never really lonely. You rely on your faith. Many times I've been feeling lonely, misunderstood. I get very enthusiastic about things. Sometimes people won't even understand your passion. Sometimes you'll go and help others. They'll say, why are you helping? It's the condition of the hearts of people and what they've experienced. So what I've learned to do is faith, family, service. My family, I'm so thankful to my husband and my 2 kids. Even my little 7-year-old. He will come and give me that hug I need sometimes. He will sometimes whisper, something that I already deposited in him that he's seen watching me. And we think sometimes our kids aren't watching.
They do.
But they'll come and he'll encourage me with an advice I gave him. He heard me giving someone else. And he'll say, remember, Mommy, you can do it. You can do it again too.
That's
if you
great.
made a mistake, Mommy, you can still do it again. What's the problem? And I'm like, you're right.
That's awesome.
And then I have my daughter who's 15. She's so impressionable, and I do my best to raise her as a young lady. And then my husband, to whom almost 99% of what I do would not be possible. Because with God, all things are possible, but with my husband, even more so. So, Reverend, faith, family, service. It's been a up and down road at times. But in all things, even in the tough moments, you must continue to pursue. You must believe in yourself. And this is a hard one for many. You must forgive fast and furious, like a movie. You know that movie, Fast and Furious? Right? The fast driving car? As fast as a Ferrari can go, is as fast you must forgive. Because you will be stunted. You'll be held back. You don't know what people's experiences are, where they're coming from, what the problem was. So why take that on yourself? And then you're sitting with a poison in yourself of unforgiveness. And you'll hold yourself back. The minute you release, you will go back into your faith, family, service. And that is literally what has helped me balance my life and keep me focused on the race that I believe God calls us all to run.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's very true. Why I say it's true, because when you are on assignment, like today we talk about also the creators, those whom God have given assignments, to carry. You can only be able to fulfill or implement that when you focus. And by you focusing, you must forgive. You must forgive. Because with you carrying grudges and all those things that come with it, you won't be able to move forward. So I can align with what you say about forgiving. For you to function, to apply service, family, community, and all that. Not that people will not hurt you, they will hurt you actually. But if you have faith in God, you focus and walk according to his leadership. So I think that's what you do.
Yes, and Reverend, just to add to this, is the topic about today is just, if you want healing in your community, you need to forgive even your leaders. You need to forgive the situation, but you got to get focused.
Yes.
You got to get focused on the solution and be solution oriented.
Yeah.
Because we were talking earlier to Auntie in the other room, and it was like, sometimes you just keep complaining about something. Where's the solution going to come?
Nothing.
So what I want to, today's topic is healing in the community. If you had to break that word down, healing, for persons who are, let's say, hurting or at a great disadvantage, let's say in society, or experiencing something, a moment that's very difficult in their life within the community, how could you break that word down, healing, so that they're better able to understand when you say healing in the community? What does it actually mean?
This is such a great question, because the first thing that popped in my mind as you were asking this question is one about housing. And I know it sounds kind of weird to say that the first step, but I was saying this recently at council, and I'll say it now. Housing is healthcare. Housing is healthcare. We must have a place that we can have a safe haven, where we can have a place to rest, to build, to return back to. So if I were to answer, what is healing in the aspect of healing communities? We must get back to the basics. People cannot afford homes. They cannot afford living day to day. And then when you don't have a home that you can find a place of restoration, and that's another word that was coming up when you were asking this question. What does healing mean? Is being restored back 100%, back to yourself, back to God, back to your faith. Sometimes you're so overspent, you're so hurt, you can start to implode. You can start to end up going all over the place in your mind and heart. And that's why we have a raise in mental health issues. We have so many people who are working 2, 3, 4 jobs, and we're expecting each other to be kind to each other, right? It's a very tough time right now. So in a community, that's why one of my main philosophies is soaring together. We must create community. We must create conversations like what you're doing with this Heroine show. This is opening up dialogue. This is getting real into the moments. And this question you just said about healing. And one last thing I wanted to add was the word healing has heal in it. Pause, take a moment. I'm not sure if the word is spelled the exact way as H-E-E-L, but it's H-E-A-L. But I guess it's just take a moment and pause, restore yourself back, get back into your mind, your body, your spirit, your soul. And we have to stop taking spirituality out of politics and taking spirituality. And this is sometimes people are like, Monica, you got to be careful talking about these things. But I said, why? How are we going to heal our communities if we're not going to look to something that's bigger than ourselves, that will help us to focus on bringing the healing back into our community? So that's such a big topic that you and I gave different aspects.
Yeah, I love that you chip in there, healing in the community, and also as a leader, you see, before when healing comes, that means something is not well, something is sick, something is not right, and that's the reason why we have leaders like you to speak for our community, to sleep for our neighborhood and individuals in the community, to protect them. So I believe that one of the sicknesses in the community that need healing could be probably housing.
Yes.
Right? Housing could be one of them. Mental health. People are suffering a lot of having emotional trauma in different aspects of life that is tormenting them, so these are community people that are going through situation, and when it comes to like leadership, they look up to you thinking that you can fix it, right? And I think that's why you leaders come together to find a solution, and having said that, you said about our faith. You trust in God as the leader of the community. People trust in them, looking forward for them to bring the solution.
Yeah.
Why? When you have faith in God, then you as a leader, you go to your God who put you there to give you solution on how to go about it with people. So community healing is one of the major key that everybody seek to receive. And that's why it's very important to accord our leaders, who are doing an amazing job. I know you guys are not God, but you hear all the problems.
Yes.
People expect you to solve the problems that they come to you, right? So, so I want to comment on that. All the leaders in the community, the councillors, the MP, the MPPs, what you guys are doing, how you go for meeting, just to solve the problem of the community, even when you don't even know the answer of all. But we look up to you guys, and then I would say you guys are trying. And you guys are trying. It is our responsibility now to help the leaders to be able to work together, right? So I don't know what you say about that, but
I would love to add. One thing is, I found being on this side of the table I worked many years in government, most of my working life was with the Peel region, the Ministry of Health. So I was always on the other side.
Okay.
But then, when I got into the side of the other side of the table of being a politician, I usually say I'm an elected official. I don't call myself a politician, but when I got into that side of the table, you start to understand that a lot of leaders need healing.
Yeah.
And a lot of leaders also need, so sometimes when you have leaders in positions of power that also have maybe things that they need to work out before taking a public post, carrying public trust.
Very important.
They can end up, because for some, they look at it as a place of power instead of a place of service that enables you to have power, which is how I look at it. So there's power there, but that's through my service. But then there's power that can, sometimes people can take that and it can become their identity, which is very dangerous. Your identity should never be wrapped up in your role.
At all.
Because if that happens, there's a territorial thing happens, a dominance, an intimidating, and people may start doing things that they normally would not.
Yeah.
And there was someone who once said that when you are a person that gets some kind of power, you'll become more of what's already in you. So not only do we need to heal our communities from within the residents and the people there, I really truly believe, and I'm saying this with faith of God in my heart, that a lot of leaders also need some healing. They need some support as well. It is a public-facing position. I have a lot of compassion for those who are in these roles. At the same time, we must remember that this is a democratic country, and leaders must remember that the people, including myself, have power in their voice. And their position is there because of the people, and that should always be the focus.
Yeah.
I'm about to get passionate. Let me because if there were some things I could share, I would. But I do, to all my peers that are in leadership, I applaud them. I think that it's not easy to do. I just think there has to always be that focus and remembrance that the people have the voice, the people have the power, the people are the ones who put us in power. We are in it for a place of service. I never requested or thought to be a politician, to be in this.
He just
I was called into
you.
it. And anyone who says, I want to be that, I'm like, really pray about it and believe that you're being called into it.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you.
Sure.
So where do you get this energy, and what inspired you to become the woman that you are today?
Thank you. Oh my goodness, what a great question. Energy-wise, sometimes it's one thing is I'm so focused on what I'm doing that the energy, it just comes. It's there. It's just there. The other one is when you have a good support network, and you don't need a lot. Like if you have your immediate family, that's number one, and your faith. That will keep you so focused, and the people give you that spirit. Like, is the spirit the right word, or the pull to keep showing up? Like, I knew one way or the other I was going to be in this seat today because I had an invitation to be here, and I said, you know what? I'm focused on it. I don't care if there's a hailstorm happening outside. I'm going to be there because it's commitment, it's focus, it's transparency, it's accountability. And then being the woman I am today, I have to say all glory be unto God.
Amen.
Because I just the teachings and understanding and what my faith has taught me has given me everything I need and every solution and every tool to be able to surpass, to overcome. I'm just like everybody else. I go through my ups and downs, but I don't stop. And again, back to the forgiveness. Forgive quickly, otherwise you will be weighed down. You will not have the energy to do anything. You got to be like, this okay, you know, there's a saying that says, one cheek, okay, give the other side of the cheek. If someone slaps you on one side, say, here you go, here's the other one. You feel better now? Okay, let's keep moving.
Forgive them and keep going.
So one
grace.
One word you would say, let's say that you would have as an advice to your peers. Just one word.
My peers, like in politicians wise?
Politician wise, yes. Just one word.
You don't have to hang on to your position so much. You got to let go of your position in the sense that stop trying to control your position and focus on serving the people. Focus on what the work is at hand right now and focus on serving them. When you focus on serving the people and doing the work to which they have entrusted you to do, doing the work that you have been called to do, then if you're meant to be in the next seat again, let it happen. They will vote for you. And if they're not going to vote for you, maybe there's something else for you. But if you hold on so tight to your position, you will not be able to even rise to what your own calling is for why you're in it.
The purpose. That's very true. Thank you so much, viewers. I'm going to hold it there. We're going for a break right now, so we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Heroine Show. As we were discussing before with my honorable guest and my co-hosts, we were talking about the impact of healing the community. Like healing the communities is a passionate network that is dedicated to restoring wholeness, spirituality, emotionally, socially, rooted in love and faith. Without all this, the community can be healed. And the community comprises all together, working as unity, peacefully. Like my honorable councillor said, he said, forgiving one another, letting go grudges. It helps a lot to heal. Because if you are healed, you're able to help the next neighbor. You're able to empower, mentor, and encourage the young people. So where God also will be able to fill us so that we can build a wonderful community. So now I want to ask our Honorable Councillor Monica. You've said a lot, and I really appreciate. I believe that our viewers have gained so much in your impactful words. I want you to tell us, in the area of politics and community, if you have to encourage a woman, what will you tell them?
This is a great question. Thank you so much, Reverend. And just in answering this, one thing is how I'll encourage anyone, especially women, learn continuously. But this is a big one. You don't need permission to start. You don't need other people's permission, other people's opinion. Thank you, to start. Myself, I'm part of many different community boards, and I look like this, someone who doesn't look like who in the rooms that I'm in. Maybe I'll try saying that another way. Essentially, I'm on committees and groups. So, for example, I'm the first South Asian councillor in my area. I'm also on the South Grade Chamber of Commerce, so I'm focusing on helping our businesses expand. Then I'm also appointed to the OPP Police Services Board in our area. Speaking about healing, right? We're talking about safety in our community, the safety and well-being. So what I would say is that if you are a multifaceted, multi-dynamic person who have different nuances, experiences, background, come into who you are and be okay with who you are. Because a lot of times some people will say, Monica, you're doing this, you're doing too much, you're doing all this, and that's okay. That's their understanding. And I'm never upset about it. I just understand that maybe they're not, they're where they are. And that's the other thing. You must meet people where they are and not internalize other people's opinions, because most of the time people don't mean anything by it. They're curious. They want to know how you're able to do different things and be different places, but you don't have to give explain yourself all the time. I used to be someone who explained myself all the time. And someone said, a really great woman in leadership, not in politics, but she looked at me, she said, Monica, you need to stop explaining yourself. I just asked you a simple question. I said, oh my, healing. I had to heal. I said, why am I explaining myself? Why am I needing to say, this is why I'm doing this and this is why I'm doing that, like I'm on trial or something? You have to come into your calling. And then I got this other vision one day where it's like there's some women who have one kid and some women who have 10 kids at once. Twins, triplets. That's more rare if someone has quintuplets. But maybe you're a person who has quintuplets. Maybe you're someone who's supposed to have 5 things happening. Build your support network. Give yourself permission to lead. Give yourself permission to walk into those steps. And as you go forward, you better take 3 people with you.
Yes, darling.
You got it in your victories.
Good.
Right? When you rise, take others with you. Because who are you going to high five? Yourself? And we were having such a good time. Who is supportive
if you need help?
Isn't it the truth? Because there's a saying, again, we know, in the good book, it says, if you fall or you slip, it's good to have a friend to pick you up. A 3-corded rope is more stronger than a 2-corded rope. Absolutely. So this is my advice. Give yourself permission to lead. be easy with yourself too. I used to take myself so serious, and I didn't even know I was taking myself so serious, so intense. Relax,
Calm down,
Great
and relax,
breathe down
right?
and up.
And relax, and enjoy yourself.
That's so awesome to know. And then, when you're talking about explaining yourself, when you have a very pure heart, you want people to understand.
Yeah.
You're not saying it in a wrong position, but you want. But unfortunately, the world that we are, you don't need that. I tell myself I do that. I want to explain to you and make it very transparent and accountable for you to understand my position, but you keep repeating yourself. Who doesn't care, doesn't care. Sometimes now, with maturity, you begin to change narrative. So it's very good. I think it's in our,
Our makeup.
that's what makes us unique and special.
Yes.
So I want you to know, I know in life, you come through a lot of season in your life, in your leadership, in your career, family, and the way you handle it matters. Yes. The way you handle it, some people handle it wrongly and it spoils the whole thing. But sometimes that's why the application of wisdom, the Bible says the principal thing, knowledge is power. And when you apply it into incident situation, especially as a leader, you'll be able to achieve the goal. And I want to say that, is there any moment in your life or in your career path that you have encountered critical moment that you want to share a brief story with us on how you took care of it?
So, I mean, this might be leaning a little bit more into politics area. So when I hear you ask the question, the first thing that comes into my mind, so where I am as a counselor, I'm officially considered a part-time counselor, meaning we have less kind of meetings, but I'm a full-time counselor in the sense of serving the community. Yeah. So sometimes based on your population and things like that, that determines certain things. With that being said, I still work other jobs while I'm doing this. So one of my other jobs I had was a business engagement specialist with Life Direction Support Services. And what they do is they help people with disabilities get job ready. And my job...
Are you a nurse?
No, a nurse.
Are you a healthcare?
No, so I was hired first as a facilitator and marketing specialist.
Okay.
And then I basically moved into the next role. They put me into, or I applied for business engagement specialist. And the reason why is that my wonderful supervisor at the time, Kristen, she had identified my ability to connect with people. Wow. And I'm like, you have a job for that? I was like, I thought I was counselor. She's like, no, like, Monica, I think you can really get into the businesses and let them know why hiring people with disabilities is a great thing. And I said, of course. So one of the projects they had was an ODIN initiative, which is called Ontario Disability Employment Network. And they would do an initiative called NDEAM. And NDEAM is National Disability Employment Awareness Month. It happens every October. And what they would do is light up a building or structure or the Heroine office, purple or blue, on that specific date, and say, in recognition that we are supporting NDEAM, National Disability Employment Awareness Month. So what they did is they gave me that project, and I spearheaded that project all through the North. And what started as something that they were trying to get off the ground, kind of an expansion for 8 to 10 years, I was able to just run with it. And that's the type of person I am too. If you give me something, I don't go halfway. I'm like, jump in the pool. All of me. My husband, he dips the toe. He'll study it. He'll come back in a week. Me, I'm like, let's go. So we're a good balance, right? Because he stops me sometimes and I push him sometimes. But I remember this was so meaningful to me. As a business engagement specialist, I would go to all the councils in our area. So for example, if there's like Mississauga, Caledon, and Brampton, in our area, we would have neighboring municipalities. So I started going to all of the municipalities and saying, hey guys, you know me as counselor, but today I'm business engagement specialist, and I want to tell you about something with regards to hiring people with disabilities and bringing awareness by proclamation. And so now all these municipalities started passing the proclamation everywhere I was speaking. And then what happened was the people in the audience that were watching during council would stand up and say, I'm so-and-so for this community agency. I want to do the proclamation too. Or I want to light up my business. So from doing that, just something I wanted to add that in Canada, 1 in 5 people live with a disability, yet the employment rate for persons with disabilities aged 25 to 64 is around 62%, compared with 78% for those without disabilities. Meaning, more people with disabilities are unemployed than people who don't have disabilities. So this work is very personal to me. I have family members who have disabilities, and we have a gap in unemployment, and that's another part of healing the community. So if there's a gap in unemployment and we have people with disabilities, acquired, genetic, self-identified, and they're willing, ready, and able to get into a business and start to work, they will answer our unemployment issue, especially in the rural communities where we need more workers. So this became such a passion for me, as you can tell. I don't work for Odin. I don't work for Life Directions any longer, but I can't stop talking about Endim. I'm still connected to some of the ambassadors there, and I want to already start I still am talking to so many people about lighting it up. I know the city of Brampton lights it up, but in fact, anybody can, and there's a whole process to it. I'd love to share about it, but finding something, deeply personal, and this was a critical moment for me because let me just rewind one quick thing is back to being a multifaceted, dynamic person. You have nuances, you have experience, you have calling, you have personality. There's things in you, giftings, skills, talents.
To give out.
Yes, to expand people. And to give out. And if you start to limit yourself by needing appeasement by appeasing others or needing permission or holding on to unforgiveness, then I would hold myself back from doing all things.
That. Yeah.
But now I become such a proponent for people with disabilities, and a lot of businesses don't realize that it's not a lot of money to get job ready. And a lot of people with disabilities who are working, they become like the longest. They work the longest. They work the hardest. They're actually getting an income. They're just amazing. And I'm just so powerful, speaking powerfully about it because I hope that more businesses see there's not a lot of money to do that. So that's another part of healing the community. And we need to have a multifaceted, multi-dynamic approach in our time right now to heal our communities from a policy level. Things are not black and white anymore. We can't take a cookie cutter and say, this worked 20 years ago, we're going to do it now. No, we got different moving parts right now. Which leaders are going to come in and say, look, this policy is good, but we need to tweak it. We need to change it. We need to see who's who in the zoo, who's in our community right now, and what are their needs, and what do they need right this second. If you're not able to shelter, feed, clothe, protect, and have a little joy, what is the point of being in these positions when you're supposed to hold public trust? So I digress. I got a little passionate there.
No. You're saying it all. That as you're saying, my head is moving because as if you knew we were talking about. We are actually giving the heroine of the week in one of our episodes on those people that are doing this amazing job. Are they helping those who cannot help themselves and creating awareness and that advocacy of the work they need to do to help such people? And we actually celebrated those class of community service, and that's what you're talking about right now. So it's very important, and I'm so glad that that's what a critical moment that you embrace to make sure that you change the narrative in your faith. And I want to say that people like you actually is a gift to the world, to the community, because they are passionate about what they do, and you don't have to follow people. It's just like I talk about myself, and then I was talking to somebody in the city, and he was saying, I say, you know what? For the fact that I have thrown myself to sacrifice everything for the legacy God has put on my table to build, I believe that everybody had their part to play, right? Yeah. So every sector have their part to play. If you do your part, I do my part, the community will become a better place. How can the community be healed if only one person do? So the awareness and advocacy is a key to work together and build that unison in our community. So that's one of it. And I also want to say impactful moments. Exciting moments. I know you guys have a lot of fun. You go to the government house, you go to dinner, so many things. Tell us about the excitement.
Thank you for that question. As soon as you said that, my mind went to this pin I'm wearing. Yeah, okay. So this pin right here is by a colonel. I hope she's Colonel or Officer Sandra Perrin. Recently, in August, we went to AMO, Associated Municipality of Ontario Conference in Ottawa. And this is one of my most favorite. We get to see our colleagues, but most of all, we do delegations and we attend workshops. I went to a women's business networking breakfast. It was early in the morning.
Wow.
And who knew that when I would walk in there, this wonderful lady gets up and she's speaking. The lieutenant governor was there. She's fantastic. And it was just a packed room of women. And we're early in the morning and we're all looking at each other. And this colonel comes up and she's a first. I believe she went through a lot because as being a soldier during her time, she was like the first woman. She was the first woman from the middle Europe to be in her platoon. And she went through really, really tough moments. Wow. And she talked about how she overcame. So she wrote a book. She inspired us all. It was fantastic. I don't remember the exact name of her book, but it's Sandra Perron, Perron. And I went up to her and talking about collaborating and being with each other and healing each other. I waited to speak with her. I bought her book. I went outside. I ran. I bought her book right away. I ran back inside. And she has so many people want to talk to her. So I waited. I finally got up beside her and I said, look, you really inspired me. And thank you so much. And can you sign my book? She said, oh, of course. And then someone pulled me. So I looked over. Oh, right before they pulled me, I said to her, you know what? I love your pin because it has people holding each other's hands with their hands in the air. Right. And I'm all about soaring together. So someone has pulled me this way while I was saying that to her. I looked here and I felt this tug and I turned back around. She took the pin off of her and she pinned this on me. Wow. And she's a soldier. And now during Remembrance Day, I like to wear it all the time, but especially in this time to honor our veterans, honoring Remembrance Day, I wear this pin as a reminder to me that way she pinned me, the way she so selflessly, she doesn't even know me. She took it off her own lapel and she put it on me.
That's the spirit lead.
That's the sisterhood. That's the, you know what, don't worry about it, Monica. You take it. It's for you. Yeah. It almost felt so, I don't know, I'm getting goosebumps from it. Like, I have a picture because if someone was taking photos, I didn't realize this, of me getting emotional almost. I was like, I was so taken aback. I don't know what it's worth or nothing in material sense. It doesn't matter. It's the meaning behind it.
Yeah. So the essence is that there's something that she might have seen in you that made her to just give you that. Could be something very cherishable. Like looking at it, you see that is something is a gift, a special gift, you know. So I know that you guys, impactful moment, most time when you guys go for meeting and all the things you do together, you know, you guys are honorable in the leadership position, despite every other thing that the challenges. I know we took care of you guys. We are taking care of the leaders in the community. And, you know, one thing I want to say about Monica, we're going to be coming to the Heroine of the Week. I want to call that, announce Monica Singh Soares as the Heroine of the Week.
Thank you.
Okay, so welcome viewers again. As you know, we are celebrating our Honorable Councillor Monica for her impactful work in the community, her gifts, her blessings to families and to everybody that she come across. And I would like my co-host to read her bio so that you have full understanding of
With pleasure.
her impact.
With pleasure. Well, today we welcome Councillor Monica Singh Soares.
Wow.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
A community leader, minister, entrepreneur, and advocate for families and youth.
Wow.
She is the founder of Rise Up and Soar Community and the first South Asian councillor in Southgate, championing inclusion, accessibility, and community development. She also operates soaring ceremonies, headquartered in Brampton and serving couples across Ontario. Monica is a proud wife to Joey and the mother of Bella, Sitara, and Ricker, grounding her leadership in family, compassion, and purpose. Please join us in welcoming none other than
Thank you again. Thank you
It's
again.
an honor to have you.
Yeah.
Like we say, it's a honor. This is just a brief of what you are, but I want to use this moment to celebrate you.
Thank you.
We celebrate you, your leadership, your impact, your sacrifices. Imagine now, look at the road, a lot of people cancel. She didn't cancel.
No.
She has to find her way here to the Heroine show. And that's how much sacrifice that we are talking about. So maybe you tell us more about a few things that it wasn't mentioned.
Sure. Thank you again so much for the opportunity. And what I would just touch on are maybe a few things, personal, politics, public, maybe just wrap it up in one. But one thing I feel that women need their voice. And some of our cultures, I believe, especially being South Asian, we don't pump ourselves up. We don't even sometimes even talk about our resume or anything. And over a while, I learned that we need to speak about our accomplishments, not in a prideful way, but in a way to encourage others and to remind ourselves.
Yeah.
So recently, I graduated with a Bachelor of Education from the Brock University.
I saw it.
And that took a while because I got married, I had kids, and but I stuck to it. And when I stick to something, I will stay with it until I see it finished all the way through. And I also have my bachelor's from the University of Waterloo, leadership studies from Sheridan College and from Humber. And with that being said, I've had lifelong learning. So if you want to look at that side of things, but one thing I'm specifically very happy to have done is be a voice for people, to be a voice for the marginalized, the newcomer, the immigrant, women, even like sometimes men get a hard rap. They're taking a lot of burdens right now, men. They have to hold a lot on their back, and they have to hold it together. And I think that the men that support the women need to be so celebrated, like our pastor Yukela, who's right behind the camera, so celebrated. And so some of the things that I believe I've been able to do was really listen to our residents in my local area and hear what they're going through. Right now, I can't mention it yet, but I'm going to be putting a motion forward that I hope will help make the families in our area's life a lot more easier. So in a few weeks, you'll probably hear what that motion is. But I do make sure that I'm a voice at the table. And with regards to my accomplishments, sometimes, like I said, I draw a blank, but I have been receiving some awards without, and I'm careful not to receive too many awards without understanding what they're for, what the purpose, and why am I getting it. And then I will receive it. So there's that as well. But I feel that being a wife and a mother have really grounded me. That's one of my biggest accomplishments, I think, because being a marriage officiant in the province of Ontario, I'm provincially regulated with my husband, and Soaring Ceremonies is our corporation. So amongst all the things I do, this is one of my most favorite. Why? Because we are bringing people together and they're starting their life together. I'm allowed to be a privilege to be a part of their life event and their keystone documents. And what's the keystone document? That means, 3 generations from now, if someone wants to know where great-grandparent got married, my name will always show there on their document that they officiated. So that is so cherished in my heart. And I like to guide couples to make the right process and let them know marriage is a good thing. Returning back to a family unit is a good thing. And I know that things happen and it's not always possible for whatever reason, but restoring the home, restoring our men back to being able to, carry out their duties and not be burdened down and having,
all support they need.
Like if I had, honestly, one of the things that I would do is I would say optional that every woman should be able to stay at home if they want for the first 4 or 5 years of their kid's life. Fully paid. Because that is a holy work. Next to God is a mother. Next to God is a mother raising their kids. And sometimes I'll have, one lady came up to me once and she says, I'm just a house mom. I'm just a housewife and a mother. I said, I celebrate you,
Kudos.
as our pastor would say. I would say, you're doing a holy work. Next to God, that's the most holy work. And I always will continue to say that. So being the first South Asian on my council, standing there and doing the oath, I take it very serious.
Honestly.
I take the oath so serious. When I had to sign my name, being part of committees, when I have to lift my hand and say yay or nay to a policy.
You are pledging to yourself too, you know that?
Yes.
So it reminds you to live what you pledge others. You get that aspect.
Yes.
Doing that, it's like you're standing before God and man and renewing your vow every day. So you have to live by the example that other people follow. So you see, it's a very honorable position, and that's what our community need, our young people need, and we thank you for that.
Thank you,
we
Reverend.
thank you. So we celebrate you. God will bless you and your family, and also want to say that yes, a lot has been said. We cannot say enough, because we have more to say. So we just want to wrap up this section to say that viewers, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for this wonderful segment. I believe it will bless you, and I will encourage you to recommend this show and also share the episodes to your friends and family. It will bless them, and we want you to look forward for our next episode.
And Reverend, can I just say one quick thing?
Okay.
Sorry about that. Really fast is this. One thing I think, because I'm in the township of Southgate, I was there about 5 years ago. But Peel region, city of Brampton specifically, is my formative years. It's where I went to school. I went to Notre Dame and Turner Fenton, Gordon Graydon. From 5 years old. I was born in Brantford, lived in Scarborough. Then my parents moved to Brampton at around 5 years old. So in so many ways, I am a Bramptonian.
Your home, of course, that's your home.
And I worked at the Peel region and all these things. But then we moved there 5 years ago. And when I moved there, that has also become our home. So again, multifaceted, multi-dynamic. And you don't have to pick and choose. Are we not in the land of God? Like, you know, my heart is here, but my heart is also for residents there. But also where you grew up, it's in you as well. So just like many of my parents who came from India, they're here, but their heart is still in India, but they made their new home here.
Exactly.
So you can't, one doesn't go over the other. It is what it is. And so for me, I'm like, look, I love Southgate. It's given me so much opportunity to serve my community. At the same time, I love Brampton.
This is your home.
I have established
That's why you
relationships.
can come back anytime you want.
And you know, and being invited this way, you call me honorable. You're my honorable.
Thank
and
you.
I thank you both so much. And thank you for letting me, I know the time
It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for
so
taking
much.
time
Thank
to
you.
come here, bringing your wonderful family. And like we said, one thing is to live, another thing is to live by example.
Yes.
And I see when it comes to marriagehood, you know what it is? It takes a grace woman to run it, right? And you live by grace. That's why this month we are celebrating grace. By the way, let us present. This is a honorable gift to our honorable councillor, Councillor Monica.
Yes.
This is from the Heroine show, from BCC TV. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. This is just a little beginning.
You know, I feel like oh, sorry. Oh, that's okay. I feel like we could seriously do some serious damage to the devil. You know what I mean? I feel it. I feel powerful in this room right now.
I feel good.
I knew that I would not.
Stay tuned. Always follow us, like us, hear us. You know, go to our YouTube. You know, we are blessing people, and you will be blessed also. So see you, and we are going to say, don't forget the heroine and the heroine in you. Stay tuned. Love you guys.